Naku, ba't parang meron huwatang mali dito sa episode na to ng The Spokes? Ang pagkakaalam ho natin, isa ho sa mga nagtatanong dyan sa programa na yan, itong si Congressman Mike Defensor. Pero dito sa episode na to, siya naman ho ngayon ang tinatanong. Pero bago yan, kung bago lang ho kayo sa PH Updates, ang like at ang subscribe, masaya na ho tayo dyan at sa mga gusto sumali sa ating community. Yung join button, nandyan lang ho sa baba. Unahin na ho muna natin ang actual na paghahain ng impeachment ng mga makabayan dyan sa House of Representatives laban dito kay Marcos Jr. Ito ho mga kababayan, pambihira, oo. Ayan o. Talaga naman. Oh, nakupaldo na naman itong si Boy Macdo nito. Si Ato Reyes, nandyan ho siya. Ayan o. Pambihira. Oh. Talaga naman. Kumikitang kabuhayan talaga itong mga taga-makabayan na to. O ano magiging basihan nyo ng impeachment? Ano yung mga magiging ebidensya nyo? Pambihira. Kaya nyo bang gamiting ebidensya yung testimonya ni Amy Marcos? Kaya nyo bang suwagin niya si Martin Romualdez? Isa lang naman kayo sa mga pinapalamo niya dyan sa House of Representatives. Para saan? Para ma-legitimize na talagang merong lehitimong impeachment complaint na inihain dito kay Marcos Jr. Para hindi pagdudahan ng ating mga kababayan na yung mga impeachment na nauna at pangalawa na yan para matrigger lang yung one year ban rule. Mga loko-lokong to. Akala nyo hindi namin alam ginagawa nyo? Kailanman dito sa PH Update hindi namin kayo pagkakatiwalaan. Dahil ang mga utak nyo mga utak komunista. Wala kayong ninasa kundi pabagsakin ng gobyerno. Pero minsan napapaisip din tayo Kung meron lang totoong ideolohiya at prinsipyo at paninindigan tong mga uror na to baka manuwala pa tayo sa kanila ngayong mga panahon na to Sa totoo lang Sa totoo lang. Kung meron lang talagang tunay na ideolohiya at hindi sila nabibili ng pera, maraming maniniwala sa mga yan. Lalo na ngayong napakaraming nagugutom, napakaraming buwisit na buwisit sa administrasyon. Ang dami nyo na dapat, kaso pinakita nyo na aso lang kayo ni Martin Romualdez. Oo, picture pa tong si Tino. Tapos katabi niya itong si Boy Macdo. Ayan si Ato Reyes. Para sila nalilimbon. Yung nagpuprosisyon. Pambira. Ang problema nito, ang aangas nyo, wala naman kayong mga testigo. Parang ampaw na impeachment kagaya nung abogado ni Risa na unang nagsampa. Parang ganyan din ho yan mga kababayan. Pambihira yan. Kita nyo mga kababayan. Kaya lipat na ho tayo dahil naisampa na yung impeachment laban dito kay Marcos Jr. ng mga makabayan black dyan kamatayan black dyan sa House of Representatives. Inaabangan ho talaga natin yung pagsasampa ng impeachment ng grupo nitong si Congressman Mike Defensor. Kasi itong grupo ni Kong Mike, sila lang ho talaga ang nakikita nating lehitimo at tunay ang pinaglalaban kaugnay dyan sa impeachment na yun. At meron at hindi takot na gamitin yung talagang mga tunay na ebidensya para maitulak yung impeachment na yan. Sa tingin nyo ba yung si Boy Macdo gagamit sila ng mga ebidensya dyan? Kasi pagka yung una, natural na yun, understood na yun, di pa nga nag-uumpisa, binabasura na nitong si Ari Erice. Itong pangalawa na to, ibabasura rin to. So, lehitimo talaga na hindi ka impeach si Marcos Jr. pagka binasura yung impeachment niya. Mantakin nyo, makabayan na naghain yan pero nabasura pa rin. So anong sa tingin nyo ang impeachment nitong mga grupo ni Mike Defensor? Basura din yan, di ba? Isiniset ho nila yung narrative na ganun Nakuha nyo ho ba mga kababayan? Ang gustong mangyari ng administrasyon dito sa impeachment na to? Yung una, yun, flap yun. Kaya kailangan namin magsampa ng pangalawa para ma-legitimize na talagang lehitimo ang mga reklamo kay Marcos Jr. At i-dismiss namin yan, ibabasura namin yan para talagang kahit na sino pang maghain ng impeachment, hindi ka impeach ang presidenteng bangag, di ba? Wala. Teka lang. Gusto ko yung posing nyo kanina. Tuloy na.
Balik po kami. Sige po.
Galit sa Amerika pero paboritong fast food McDo. Anak ng to ka. Diba? Huwag kang magalit sa Amerika kung nagmamakdo ka. Diba? Jollibee ka na lang Kaso sinusupsup mo yung McFloat O rekta ho tayo dito kay Kong Mike.
Sandali lang ha.
Ako muna.
Muna sandali.
Ako muna.
Eh, sabi ng director, pwede naman bumalik si Sec Mike dito, wag yung pasaway.
Bakit ano?
Pinaalis pala talaga siya. Okay. Ngayon binalik siya. Pamira. Siya naman ang tatanungin, oh.
Ako yung curious. At saka galit sa akin to eh. Sabi niya, sinulot ko raw yung pwesto niya.
Hindi. Ang sinabi ko kanina, okay naman ako kay, happy birthday kay Ray Marfil.
Ayun.
Ang sama na ng loob ko, okay naman nawala ako. Yung pinalit si Nani Berganza.
Sorry for the record, For the record, kabats ko sa Congress to.
Yes.
He was the youngest, I was the...
Oldest.
No, second youngest. Para kung kumpari ko to. Kumpari ko to. Yung regalo niya sa anak ko, good for 10 years.
Oh.
Ganong kabait na ninong ito.
Aba, teka lang, kahit wala akong balak na magkaanak, Congressman Mike, good for 10 years. Pabihiran yan. Magbibinyag ako. Kukunin kita, Ninong. Sino bibinyagan? Oh! Pambihira, matindi pala tong si Kong Mike, oo. Kong Mike!
Pamilya ko to. Tinuturing ko siyang malit kong kapatid.
Matindi ah. Magre-regalo ka sa binyag, good for 10 years.
May maliit pa talaga.
Meron bang bat sa likod sa...
Wala, love ko to.
Pero nalo,
Huwag
Mike.
lang niya ako idami sa mga kaso niya.
may serious question ako sa'yo. Talaga bang sinapak ka ni Nani sa
Hindi ko
kabinete?
sinapak, binatukan ko.
Pinitik. Hindi naman binatukan, pitik. Ay, ako pala.
Pinitik mo tenga ko.
Pinitik ko kasi nag-meeting kami, no?
Cabinet meeting,
Usually,
excuse me,
pagka
laklang.
papasok kami, tsaka palabas, sabay kami.
Oo.
Focus na siya, nagsusulat eh.
Busy ako eh.
Pinitik ko. Pagpalabas ako, may bumatok sa laban. Nakita ni Presidente, yun yung kinikwento niya. Yun yung
Kaya
mga
nag-may
moments
eye contact
namin.
kayong dalawa.
Parang mga elementary students.
Actually, at that time, si Kedwin, nagreklamo kami. Ito, totoo to, ha. We went to the President, sabi namin, Ma'am, may appeal sana kami ni Nani. Sabi niya, ano yun?
Hindi ko alam to
Kasi pagka nagmi-meeting kami noon, straight yun ha, from morning until gabi. Ang lunch namin, sandwich.
Sinasabi ko nga, totoo yun.
Oo, kasi ang...
Itong mga kung ano sinasabi sila ni Relly rito, ang sarap ng pagkain.
Hindi,
Eh, sandwich din naman kami.
Platito kami kumakain.
Hindi, ito sinadya. Kasi
Oo.
yung kasama namin, after lunch, nakakatulog.
Oo nga.
Oo, kaya ginawang sandwich. Parang sabi ko, ma'am, growing boy pa kami ni Nani, baka pwede namang full lunch kami.
Tapos ano sabi ni Presidente?
Hindi, natawa naman siya. Pero hindi pa rin niya binago yung pagkain namin.
Pagkain. Ganun pa rin.
Hindi, pero masarap ang pagkain talaga ito. Soto Palacio. Anyway, Mike, so we're on a serious note here because recently you just, together with some of your colleagues, filed a impeachment claim,
Yes.
complaint against the president.
Yes.
So what pushed you to your group to file a third impeachment complaint against the president?
Pwede ba dagdagan ko yung tanong mo?
Sige, go ahead, sir.
Manong, okay. You know, in 2022, you ran for mayor of Quezon City
Yes.
under the unity team.
Yes.
You campaigned for both President
Yes.
Marcos now and VP Sara.
Yes.
So, why the change of heart? Yun lang, in addition
Hindi
to...
lang naman siya nag-change of heart eh.
Yung summary nung...
Naghanap pa ng kakampi.
Yung summary ng change of heart, I think one of those was, and nakausap ako ni Atty. Lacerda even that time, yung kay Gutesa.
Akala ko binubuyo ka niya.
Kasi even during Gutesa's time, in fact, ang panawagan ko noon, was Speaker Martin. I-account nila. Kasi yun ang sabi niya delivery. And then right after that, mga 2 linggo ata, 3 linggo, nagsalita na siya na si Saldico, sabi niya, totoo yung sabi ni Gutesa, at hindi lang kay Martin Romualdez yan. Pero ako mismo nagdi-deliver kay Bongbong Marcos. So doon na nagdikit-dikit yun.
Boss, dagdag lang I watched one of your speeches. Alam mo na, fan mo ko, number one fan mo ko.
Hindi ako naniniwala. Pero anyway.
Maniwala dito.
Ang sinabi mo kasi, ilabas nyo na si Gutesa, nasa hawak nyo siya, ilabas nyo na. Bumaliktad na nga yung tao eh.
Oo, totoo.
That's your speech. So, what do you mean by that?
Kasi si Gutesa, initially talaga, nagpunta sa kanila. Voluntarily, sumama sa kanila. And then
Kanila
eventually, supposedly, at that time, makakala ko yung mga former Marines.
Oo.
Tapos, nung malaman ko, nasa active Marines
Oo.
sa MC2. And then afterwards, ang napag-alaman ko na, pinapirma na nila ng bagong affidavit at saka binidyo. So sinabi ko na, nagawa nyo na sa tao yan eh.
Ilabas nyo na.
Ilabas nyo na. Kasi at that time, magpapasko na rin eh. No? Sabi ko, kawawa naman.
Oh, December pa to.
Oh, Disyembre. So, going back to that point, bakit kami nag-file? Wala namang ibang paraan ang taong bayan, o any of us, to complain against the president and to find out or to get the documents legally, to discuss and debate legally, ano ba talaga yung participation niya dito? So, ang
Sa
matagal na
flood
debate.
control anomaly.
Oh, matagal na debate. Ito, si Nani, alam, ang Congress, alam mo, pag nagboto, patay ka na eh.
Hindi ko alam yan.
No form, no substance.
Ay,
Di ba?
totoo.
Dead.
Kayo nag-operate kay Villar eh.
Oh, hindi, that time kami naman yung sa impeachment ng Pangulo.
Bakit kayo nag-operate kay Erap?
Kasama si Speaker Villar that
For the
time.
record, si Speaker Villar at that time,
There's no record by the...
nagpa-reserve ng number
Yes.
sa atin because sila nagpapapirma. Ako yung may hawak ng numero eh.
Yes.
Di ba?
Oo. Kayo ni Nonoy Andaya.
Oh, the late Noni Anday.
The late
Nagpa-reserve
Noni
ng
Anday.
number.
So mga ano na kayo?
Number, ano ba yun? 79 o 69
73.
pa? 73. Ayun.
73.
So, how did you feel about the first two complaints? Did you ever bother to read the first two complaints?
Yes. Nung una, Tony Edwin, wala naman akong reklamo eh. Sabi ko, sige, lahat i-discuss. Kasi ang thinking ko, and it's part of the rules, part of the Constitution, pwede naming ipagsama-samahin.
Correct.
Yung mga complaints na to. So sabi ko, sige, bahala na kung ano yung mga complaints niyan. And I'm not privy to the complaint of Attorney De Jesus. Hindi ko pa nababasa yan. I heard about the Kabayan Black. Hindi ko alam kung ano yung evidence o yung substance na nandun. But
But
anyway,
you called
sabi
them,
ko,
tinawagan mo sila, di ba, before you filed?
yes. Oh. But anyway, nung nakita ko na hinarang kami, ito na yung call. Kasi meron tayong mga kasama sa Kongreso, may mga kasama tayo sa Secretary General's office na nagsabi na, uy, teka, hindi tinanggap. Sabi ko, ha? So I had to call Kabayan Black, si Congresswoman. Sabi ko, ma'am, ano ba nangyari? Hindi tinanggap eh. We were umupo daw sila in a conference and then binanggit. I'm not authorized to receive, I cannot receive your paper, blah, blah, blah. So nagkaroon na lang sila ng video saying na ganito.
Right.
So sabi ko, wow, ba't ganun? Hindi ko naiintindihan.
Legally, operations of law, ministerial lang dapat yun,
Ministerial.
di ba? Ministerial.
There's nothing in the Constitution that says it has to be received by the person of the Secretary General.
Yes.
It's just the office of the Secretary
Office of
General.
the Secretary
kasi.
General. Even the House Rule states
That's
that.
correct. That's
Office
correct.
of the Secretary General. Kaya nagtataka kami, and may precedents na tayo. There were other complaints in the past na talaga namang, kinuha ng Deputy Secretary General or anyone from the office.
Correct.
So, nung nakita ko na hindi tinanggap, sabi ko, hindi na to. Set up na to.
Kasi if you notice all the impeachment cases filed in Congress, if it is the one, if an impeachment case is initiated by the administration with the blessing of the President, tanggap kagad eh. Mabilis pa sa alas 4. But when it is initiated by the opposition or by the minority, ang daming rikititos. So, may batas para sa administrasyon, may batas para sa
Hindi, pero
opposition.
ngayon lang
Ganun ba
ito
yun?
nangyari eh. Ngayon lang ito nangyari eh, na hindi tinanggap ng Office of the Secretary General regardless of whether the Secretary General is there or not. Diba?
May
Meron na.
May
Meron
binanggit
na.
sa akin si
Sorry,
Cardema.
go ahead.
Si Cardema.
Cardema, yes.
May binanggit siya na gano'n. Sabi
Cardema
niya,
is the Duterte youth.
yes.
Oh,
Sabi niya, we
okay.
filed, I think, last year. Oh, anyway, hindi ko rin man alam yun. Pero ito yung first time na nakita ko. Kasi sabi ko, si Attorney Salonga, in fact, he's a neighbor. Mabait naman yung bata. Sabi ko, Attorney, if you cannot receive, pwede bang kausapin namin yung sa harap, yung sa front desk nila, sa receiving area, pa-receive namin. Sir, no one is authorized to accept that. Sabi ko, pat ganun? Eh, di ba ngayon, pumunta ka sa any office here, malapit dito, go to a government office, may letter ka, i-receive nila eh.
Mike, but you know, you're a politician, and what's the motivation behind here?
The
What do you
motivation,
think is the motivation behind the refusal to accept?
I think, klaro sa akin, Torna Sherda, yung patayin yung mga totoong impeachment. And the first impeachment, papasukin nila, and of course, they debate on it, form and substance. If you look at as requirement of the Constitution, 10 days, within 10 days, i-refer ni Speaker sa order of business.
Right.
From plenary, 3 days to the Committee on Justice. Yun na yung initiated eh.
Right.
Are you,
Yung
are
3
you
days na yun.
saying the one that was accepted is an impeach me complaint?
Impeach me complaint. Impeach me complaint.
So you're saying that the first impeachment complaint is quite weak. It was really
Yes.
meant to safeguard the one-year
Alam mo,
ban.
Atty. Sherda, Nani, ito natatawa ako. I was surprised na si Yusek Claire Castro reacted. Sabi niya, i-prove mo, Mike, na mahina yung first complaint. Sabi ko, bakit ako? Ako kailangan i-prove. Eh, di ba parang unang-una, palasyo siya. Dapat ang stand niya, all complaints are weak. Wala yung basis. Di ba dapat ganun?
nga.
Ngayon ako magpo-prove na yung first complaint is weak. Pero the fact that they're doing
Kung Mike, wag mo nang pansinin yung alin na yun. Sintu-sintu yun. Di ba? Wala naman sa wisyo yun. Pag nagsasalita sa PCO yun, pag nagsasalita sa vlog niya yun, mali-mali yung alin na yun. Wag mo nang pansinin yun. Di ba? Focus ka na lang sa sa paglaban sa mga katiwalian, pag-impeach dito kay Marcos Jr. May problema ko kasi check yung sustansya at forma noong mga ipinail nila. Itong mga to, itong mga to, planted din to eh. 'Di ba? Impeachment din yung mga yan, hindi naman impeachment yan eh.
this, inahalang nila yung talagang process
Sana yun
na
ang
dapat.
sinagot mo, Boss Mike. Tanggapin niyo yun sa amin because I can prove that impeachment complaint is weak.
Ayaw na nga
Yan
ni
eh, after the
Attorney
Hindi nga
Salonga,
sinasabi ko nga eh. Dapat
Oh.
yun ang sinagot mo kay Yuse Claire Castro.
Inaawa na nga ako kay Attorney Salonga, sabi niya, sir, pasensya na talaga kayo, I cannot. And you know, syempre, naintindihan mo naman na pag-utusan to mga to, kawawa naman.
But just the same, you said you're going to the Supreme Court.
Ako,
You're not going back anymore to Congress to refile.
yun ang
Sabi-
aking inclination. Personally, yun ang inclination. Kasi ang problem ko is, yung kay Attorney De Jesus, ni-receive na ng Speaker's Office.
Was Garfield present when she filed the case, the complaint?
Sabi nila, yes,
Okay.
she was there.
No, but until it's calendared sa House plenary and relegated doon sa
pero kami kasi,
on Justice.
pag-file namin ngayon, kaya pa lang nila itatransmit. Pwede
Yes.
lang i-transmit ngayon or bukas. Yung kanila,
Na-transmit na.
na-transmit na.
At yun ang constitutional basis unconstitutional yung ginawa yung nangyari kay VP Sara because apat na impeachment complaints at ang final against her. Eh.
Yes, oo.
Yun
May
yun.
tatlak na.
Was there an endorser from a representative of the House to endorse the complaint?
Yes.
Meron.
Yes.
Who was
Meron. Actually, nangyari dyan si Kedwin, may mga kausap kami. In fact, we were in the office of a congressman. Nung hindi ni-receive, tinawagan ko sila.
Wag na.
Hindi, sabi ko lang, dyan lang kayo. Pag ni-receive, baba kayo. Sabi nila, sige. Kasi nga, you know, it's hard to impeach a president. Siyempre, yung mga congressmen are very much affected by it. Yung gigipitin sila, papailan sila ng case.
Konting
May mga-
chismis lang.
Oo.
Yung bang mag-i-endorse sa impeachment nyo, minority o majority?
Actually, mix.
Mix?
Mix.
Oh. So
Oh.
may tatawid.
Ay, hindi naman. Well, ano ba? Hindi, mix eh.
Dapat nag-usap kami ni Egay, and apparently, I understand that you spoke to Egay if he was
Yes.
willing to endorse. And sabi niya, he doesn't want to endorse. And either naman ang sabi niya, complaint.
Yes, tama.
Both. But, ang nakwento is that Kiko Barsaga was going to endorse kaso suspended. So, and then yung anak ni Chavit Singson was supposed to endorse also the complaint. So, who was your possible endorsers at least?
Ayaw nga nila bid eh.
Oo.
Hindi, nasabi na eh.
Wala siyang sinabi.
Lumabas na yung kwento eh.
May lumalabas na kwentong ganun. Pero, actually, yung kay Kiko, nung nakausap ko siya, sabi ko, Kiko, alam mo, maganda to Kasi eto nga, ayan, you're a constitutionalist, Attorney Cerda. Suspended siya eh.
Talaga?
Suspended siya eh. So, pag nag-endorse siya, sabi ko, ano yan, that's something to be discussed by the Supreme Court.
Constitution.
Are you allowed to endorse or not? Kasi, you're still a sitting congressman, you're
Yeah,
just suspended.
suspended,
Right.
So, ano ba yan?
Yeah,
Yun
tama,
ang
tama.
isa. But I told him, you can't be just the only one. Kasi pagka ikaw lang yan, delikado.
By
It
the
has to
way,
be with an active sitting congressman.
Now that you're mentioning congressman, you also mentioned that Saltigo is willing to testify
Yes.
sa
Yes.
sa impeachment na
Yes.
final nyo. Really, ah? So nakausap mo siya mismo?
Ang kasi naman yung kay Saldico.
Answer first.
Yeah.
Did you personally speak to Saldico?
Yes. Kasi ang sabi ko naman kay Kong Saldi, well, even before, sabi niya, di ba, I haven't spoken to him, sabi niya, willing akong magsalita sa Blue Ribbon Committee hearing. So, willing akong umupo dyan. But he was not allowed. So, sinabi ko, sige, under an impeachment process, kung papayagan ka under suspended rules without coming home, pwede ka ba? Sabi niya, pwede. Kasi we've done that. We've done yung suspended Zoom during deliberations,
Right.
witnesses. In fact, even now, meron daw recent na from Thailand at or China, they were allowed to testify under Zoom. So if you will be allowed, sabi niya, yes, I will do it. Sabi ko without talking about any other concern, but yung sinabi mo na.
Alam mo saan ako nagtataka, Mike? Kaya mong hanapin si Saldico. Sila, parang hirap na hirap sila hanapin. O ayaw lang hanapin, o ayaw lang pahanap.
Hindi ko alam. Hindi ko alam. Hindi ko alam.
Hindi nga, di ba?
Ako naman, yung pagkakausap ko sa kanya is through an intermediary,
So not directly.
not directly.
So
not
it's not a
directly.
personal conversation between you and Saldico?
Oh yeah, yes.
You did?
Yes.
But somebody intermediated
To
and
be,
connected the both of you?
yeah, to be specific about it, kayo nag-usap sa telepono, then I was able to talk.
Speakerphone.
Yeah.
Itago na lang natin yung sa pangalan na Ace Barbers.
Joke. Hindi, pero, I remember the case. You spoke to Marcoleta, pero may history na pala kayo ni ni Senator Marcoleta. Nung panahon ng pandemic, nag-promote to ng ivermectin kasama ni Marcoleta.
Akala ko anong klaseng history sinasabi mo
Tama.
kasi.
Yung nangyari naman kay...
Napanood ko yun. Sila yung kauna-unahang ika nga talagang meron naman palang gamot ayaw hong ika nga i-promote, di ba? Pero ngayon ata talagang sikat yung ano na yan, yung medisina na yan.
Passion ito, good boy.
yung nangyari
Pasaway lang, sabi ni Jay.
yung nangyari lang kay Marcoleta noon, kaya naman din siya nagalit at na-trigger din ako. Ako yung una then I brought him in. Sabi ko, tingnan mo to, pinapayagan lahat ng mga gamot na unproven, pero itong isa hindi. Bakit kaya? Then, when we started talking to FDA, the Department of Health, doon na kami na parang there's something wrong with the policy at that time. Anyway, doon ko siya nakasama.
Alam mo, ang kwentuhan sa labas, may COVID ka raw ngayon.
Paano COVID?
Hindi kasi takot yung mga tao lumapit sa'yo. Ito si Edwin kanina, sigurado ko wala kang warrant to pa rin.
Hindi. Tinanong ko sa kanya, baka may NBI sa
Kunin niyo muna yung kape dito, ha? Sobra ng asukal to.
Yung NBI sa labas kanina, Nani Braganza Investigation Services.
Yan.
Kampi niya yun.
Yan, tama.
Oh, di ba? But, you've been recently involved in certain controversies. The Gutesa situation, the one that you mentioned na tumakbo, yung staff ni Saldico na binugbog. In fact, that's the reason why NBI, did NBI question you on that?
No, they called me up. Alam mo, kaibigan ko naman yung NBI and then personally, good friend. So they mentioned, sabi ko, no, I didn't say NBI. Sabi lang is may nakitang wallet, yung may nakitang NBI ID. And then si Attorney Magdum was kind enough to tell me, sabi niya, pagka may mga ganyan report, sir, sabihin mo sa akin and I will help. Then I really appreciate yung
Kasi
ganyan
naging
posisyon
guest
niya.
dito yung NBI director, binulungan niya napuntahan ka.
Mabait yun si Attorney Lito, magaling yun. Professional.
And then, di ba tawag, very, very sparing kung
From the ranks yun, di ba?
Wait, but aren't you worried about your reputational risk? Or is there something to risk? By the way, tatakbo to. Masaka na natin pag-usapan yung future plans nito.
Actually, no, Nani,
Hindi bago si
Edwin.
Mike dito.
hindi, yung dapat na akong tinatanong, ano yung endgame? Ano yung gagawin natin? Ano bang mangyayari? Parati ko sinasabi, bakit kailangan tanongin yung endgame nang may nakikita tayong mali? May mali talaga Alam natin may corruption. Lahat tayo na-involved sa gobyerno, cabinet, congress. Ngayon lang natin nakita yung massive corruption. Ang tanong, is the president involved? Ang theory ko, ang assertion ko, the president is involved. Toby Chanco, when you hear him, di ba, sasabihin niya, hihinto siya kay Martin Romualdez. So alam natin, I'm sure kayong dalawa, may ganyan kayong sariling pag-iisip about these people, including Martin, at the minimum. So bakit hindi natin pabayaan yung totoong investigasyon, an impeachment case, to discover the truth? I think,
Correct.
for me, politically, morally, ito yung tamang gawin Pag pinabayaan natin ito magtuloy-tuloy, yung sinasabi lang parametric formula, galingan sa Makabayan Block, nag-serve tayo sa Congress. Magkano budget natin per district? 70 million.
Noon tayo.
30 million nasa SOF. Huwag ka makialam sa National Infrastructure Program.
Yun ang sa'yo.
Ngayon, Sec Edwin, every district 2 billion. Do you want this to continue? Gusto ba natin mangyari sa ating bayan to? So ako, yun ang endgame.
Question.
Tapusin natin to, i-correct natin yung nangyari.
Question lang, Mike. Marami nagsasabi na ang corruption under this administration is out of control. And secondly, free for all.
Totoo.
Sa dami ng nasabit na tao na na kabilang sa mataas na bahagi ng ating gobyerno. What can you say about that?
Alam mo yung unprogrammed allocation, 2 trillion pesos. Ang claim ni Egay Erice, 1.4. Nag-debate kami niyan eh. Sabi ko, hindi, Egay, 2. Sabi hindi na-release yung iba. Okay. So yung 1.4 trillion pesos nilagay sa unprogrammed allocation, kalamihan, flood control. Yung iba doon, street lighting. Alam na natin yan.
This is a 2025 budget or
From
previous
2023
to 2025.
24, 25. Ito, personally, for Metro Manila, nakakasama ng loob. May budget for Metro Manila Subway. Kasi kasama yung sa NEP eh. Pag-submit, dahil foreign obligation natin to the foreign funds, may nilalagay tayong pondo doon. Ang ginawa nila, kinuha nila yung pondo doon, ito naman yung nilagay sa unprogrammed allocation. So meron ka ngayon na butas na mga 400 billion yan total. If I'm not mistaken, every year, dapat mga 150 to 200 ang nakalagay na pondo dyan. Yun naman ang binubunot nila, lalagay sa program. Yung 150 na yun to 200, lalagyan naman nila ng mga flood control.
Oh.
So yung 2028 na dapat nating tapos na yung Metro Manila Subway, wala na. Ma-inaugurate na yan 2032. Na-delay na.
Sorry, Micah, I'm not trying to contradict you, but I watched one of the Senate committee hearings sa budget. This was asked specifically by one of the senators. At ang sagot ni Senator Win Gatchalian, because siya yung finance, di ba, is that ang sinabi sa kanya, mahina yung absorptive capacity ng specific project na yan. So therefore, maraming tulog na pera, inilipat muna nila. Totoo ba to o palusot lang to?
Ako palusot.
Okay.
Ako palusot. Pero whether palusot o hindi, ang mga problema kasi ng absorptive capacity na nabanggit nila, like all of us.
Wait,
Yes.
just for the record. That is a private, ano may trabaho niyan, that's not government eh. May contractor yan eh. So, I don't know why it's being called a lack of absorptive capacity.
No, it's a government-funded project.
It's a government-funded project. It's not just a government-funded project. It's a foreign-assisted project.
Yes.
So, but yung nagtatrabaho doon, hindi gobyerno, it's a private contractor.
No,
yun.
even that eh. But ang sinasabi ng absorptive capacity kasi, your ability to spend the money on time. When you are given a budget.
Okay. Pareho naman kayong correct.
Yes.
For example, nung C5, may foreign funding yan. Sabi nung, in this particular case, JICA eh, yung ating sa Metro Manila Subway, uy, i-clear nyo na yung kalye. Diba? So yung road right of way, yan na yung mga delays. So doon yung sabi yung absorptive capacity.
Malamang gobyerno yung mag-clear.
Oo, pero if you recall, nung panahon natin na yan, talagang pinush natin. Bayani Fernando was there, nag-clear siya, so nagawa yung C5. So in the same light, in the same manner, yun din ang debate ko dyan. Bakit mo kukunin yung pera dito, ilalagay mo sa unprogrammed allocation, tapos lalagay mo to ng flood control? Sana ginawa mo na talaga, kung ang problema, kunyari, yung mga informal settlers, hindi ginamit yung pera pa irtayo yung bahay para ilipat sila.
In that particular case, nung panahon ni GMA kasi, very strict siya eh, when it comes to expenditures. Like in our case, may mga foreign assisted project kami, like, di ba? At pag
Yes,
hindi gumagalaw yung local counterpart, apektado kasi yung foreign counterpart. Kasi kung minsan utang yun, binabayaran natin interest eh.
Yes.
So, pinapagalaw ito. Yun lang naman ang gusto kong sabihin.
Tama, pinipilit yun. Ngayon, pagka deliberately, dinelay mo yun, para may butas ka lang para lagyan ng budget, yun ang mabigat.
The foreign assisted project that was put under unprogrammed allocation was the authorization cover. Because yung pera ng JICA nandoon na, pero kailan pa rin approval ng Congress.
Congress.
It wasn't, nilagay sa unprogrammed authorization cover ng pera.
Actually, sa Edwin,
Sorry, Mike, before you respond to that, ang kinikwento ko rito kanina, narinig ko sa budget hearing ng Senado, at yun ang tanong.
Okay.
So I'm not trying to question yung
Correct.
mga
Yeah.
yun lang.
correct.
Alright,
Let me just name the foreign assisted projects para lang klaro Yung Panay Guimaras Road, kailangan natin yan. Yung Bataan Cavite Road.
Yes.
Yung South Rail.
Yes.
Ito, ang bilis nito.
Tama.
Wala ka nang dadaanan dito. Andyan na yung long haul. Tapos nandyan yung North-South Rail connection from Clark to Manila. Yung Laguna Lake. Kalye lang yun. Nagagawin doon sa gilid ng lake. Di ba yung pinaglalaban?
meron na yun, di ba? See something yun eh.
Oo. Hindi, yun nga, ang sa Kedwin, andyan na eh.
Oo nga.
Ba't nila tinatapos? Pagkatapos, yung Metro Manila Subway, 6 to. So, sana man lang gumalaw. Okay, that's the first thing. Ngayon, pag-usapan natin yung budget.
Sige na. Let's just take a break first
Okay.
before we continue the discussion.
Grabe, napakasarap po ng kwentuhan na nakakaano na ho pala tayo, nakakaisang nakaka 30 minutes na ho tayo dito sa video na to. Napakahusay talaga nitong si Kong Mike. Palakpakan mo muna natin.
Friends, so,
Lloyd.
you know what? Let's talk about medyo mag-shift tayo ng konti, no? You invited
General Pocis.
General Pocis
Tayo,
here.
kasama
Oh,
natin
yeah,
siya.
you invited tayong tatlong nag-usap, no? And it's now been filed the case of inciting to sedition. Aren't you worried that you're going to be the next guy?
No? No?
Because I remember you said here, Marcos resigned.
Yes. And I'm continuing to say that. Pero ngayon, impeach na ako. Kasi now, kami na yung actively pursuing. So I'm impeaching President Marcos, pero ayaw nila padaan yung proseso. Di ba, alam naman natin na, of course, Marcos resigned, BBM resigned, voluntary sa kanya yon.
Correct.
And ngayon, ini-impeach namin, actively, kami na yung nagtutulak ng impeachment against President Marcos. Ang akin dito, karapatan ko yon at nakikita ko yon, umabot na sa punto that the President cannot govern. Apektado na yung ekonomiya natin, apektado yung civil institutions natin, apektado tayo politically. Affected pati yung mga projects natin. Sana, nagbago ba? Eto, binanggit lang ko ulit kay Seknani. 70 million kami nung araw, titingnan namin yung buong National Infrastructure Program, buong budget ng gobyerno from health to infra, lahat tinitingnan mo, di ba? More or less, at least kung ano yung mga interesado ka sa congressman. Ngayon hindi na eh. Ginawa na ni Yuse Cabral, no? Oh, 2 billion parametric formula. Ano yung mga gusto ninyo? So now, when you do that, nagsasuffer ngayon yung kabuuan programa natin ng infrastructure. You know that 700
Yung mga major
billion...
Wait.
Infrastructure
But those allegations that you're saying has nothing to do with the president.
Well, it does.
No. The thing with the president is your allegation is using
unprogram
Saldico's
allocation.
testimony. No. The Saldico's testimony that may kumita si presidente. That's the only thing
Kasama
that
yun.
will connect the president to this controversy.
No, I don't think it's connected eh.
Hindi,
Ano ang sinasabi mo, yung 2 billion is parang ito na yung ayuda para pumirma ng impeachment?
Hindi, sabi
Did I get you correctly or wrongly?
yung binabanggit ko kasi na about the parametric formula, ito naman yung nasa Makabayan Black impeachment.
Okay.
Sabi nila, sobrang mali nito. So I had to check on that. Ano ba yung ginagawa? And tama naman sila, if you look at the Leviste files, yung Cabral files, ganun eh, hinati-hati yung mga pondo. So I'm saying, ang sama na nangyari sa ating bansa. Now, in the case of the President, sa amin naman, yung unprogrammed allocation. So lahat ng nangyayari sa budget, which is the President signs it, ano to, magugulat ka, di ba? Unprogrammed allocation, pag may sobrang pondo. Pagka sumobrang revenues mo, then pondoan mo. Nasa akin ng dokumento, SARO, February of the year,
Of this year?
of last year.
Of last year,
No. Unprogrammed allocation. Sabi ko, di ba dapat usually yan, or hindi usually, talaga nangyari end of the year.
Question lang, Mike. Di ba yung, I have asked a lot of lawyers, even some of the guests here, ang sinasabi nila, yung unprogrammed allocation is technically unconstitutional because the budget process clearly states you can only put an item there kung may siguradong funding.
Yes.
Because it's unprogrammed, di ba? Tapos, yun, may SARO. Hindi pa malinaw kung saan manggagaling yung pondo. Ang contention ko, baka doon yung diversion nangyayari towards that end.
Yes.
Okay, now,
let me just reply to that.
Okay.
If you recall nung panahon ni Presidente Ramos, nag-balance budget.
yes.
Kung ano yung cost, ano yung revenue, yun lang.
yes.
So sinasabi natin, kung may biglang nangyari at meron tayong
Yes.
sobrang revenue, then meron tayong unprogrammed allocation.
Or supplemental budget.
At that time, or supplemental
Yes.
budget, at that time, ang unprogrammed was about only 2 to 5% of the total budget.
Maliit lang talaga.
Ngayon, ang nangyari, kaya nagagalit yung marami at nag-file sila Egay Erice, Kong Dilima dito sa kaso na to. Kasi sabi nila, alam mo na nga na 4 million lang ang revenues mo. Umuutang ka pa ng 2 million just to put up the 5.7
2.6 trillion.
ano 6.7 ata ba tayo?
6.7 trillion.
Trillion. Ba't ka pa nag-unprogram?
Ang inuutang natin 2.7 trillion to
Oo.
pay for the interest and the principal.
So sabi niya, bakit ka pa nangungutang, naglalagay ka pa ng unprogrammed allocation? Dito pa nga kapos ka na sa program. So yun talaga mali.
Ito yung contention ko si Mike. You know, the president came out on media vetoing yun ang program. But not all. So when it is unconstitutional, tapos i-veto mo, dapat he should have vetoed the entire
You have a point
line.
there. You have a point because the tama sinabi mo, the history of it, the program was supposedly a stopgap. Because the supplemental budget that they're saying, it has to go through the legislative rigmarole. It will take time.
Again,
But
yes.
again, nobody has yet questioned the constitutionality of the unprogram. That's why it's a good thing to question it. Should it exist or not?
Yes.
Justice Hernando nagsabi unconstitutional siya, but that's just an opinion, no? But anyway, my concern right now, let's go back to your allegations should directly connect the president to the basis of removing him. But all these are on the basis of pumirma siya ng budget.
No. May pumirma siyang budget pagkatapos nagkaroon dito ng actual na meron kaming evidence, yung unprogrammed allocation, puro to flood control, majority siguro 60%.
No, but the
February
whole,
of last year.
But the whole point is, ang point ko lang, it's not about putting the flood control in the unprogram. It's really imputing directly, which I believe if Saldico has the testimony that he said, I delivered money to diretso kay Presidente
That is
Marcos.
the graft and corruption case.
Correct.
Na nagkaroon siya ng pagbibigay ng pera that
Correct.
you mentioned. But what I'm saying also, above the Saldico case, na dito pa lang sa unprogrammed funds, may culpable violation of the Constitution because in February, when there was no established funds, pinirmahan mo na yung release ng pondo
Saro.
for flood control.
But that's pangandaman. Pangandaman ng pumipirma ng Saro
Kasi unprogrammed to. So, the government will say, finance will say, boss, may extra funds tayo.
Oh.
Pero, DBM,
the one who will certify that on excess revenues naman over targets would be Secretary of Finance.
That's correct.
So, again, the question is, I'm
Yes.
just, because it's a direct accusation against the
Yes.
President, it cannot, may mga layers pa before the President.
no, but the actual...
Eventually, you're going to prove command responsibility because otherwise, well, the President did not, yung SARO was signed by Pangandaman, the Budget Secretary. The certification that there's excess revenue will be signed by the Secretary of
yan
Finance.
ang doon sa...
before you
Explain
answer,
ko na to.
sorry, I know you know, that time tatlo naging member ng cabinet. Walang funding dyan na lumalabas na pondo na hindi pinag-uusapan sa kabinete.
Correct.
Even though the president doesn't sign, he assigns yung cabinet person in charge.
Let me clarify.
Kaya-
Sa normal process ng budget, tama yan. Kasi sa normal process, inapprove na yan ng presidente, then ang DBM na lang magre-release ng SARO.
Bahala na siya.
Oo. Ito hindi, unprogrammed to. So before they can release it, it would be cleared with him.
Yes.
Boss, meron tayong excess funds. Okay, approve. DBM release. So ito yung sinasabi ko, February pa lang ginawa na niya.
That's something that we have to prove.
That's
diba?
right. That's right.
Something that has to be proven first. No, that's an allegation, di ba?
Hindi, pero boss, let me just clarify again. No? Para tong bahay natin may budget ka 1,000 a week. So yun, regular na yun. Hindi ko na alam yun. Pamalengke mo lahat-lahat. Biglang sinabi mo sa akin, meron tayong extra 200. Halika, mamasyal tayo. O sige, saan tayo pupunta? Doon na siya may involvement. This was an extra excess budget signed in February, SARO, that we have a copy, sunod-sunod, put into flood control. So tama ka, Sec Edwin, madali kasing i-prove yung kay Saldi kaagad Totoo ba yan? Tumanggap ka ng pera, may ganito. Pero what we're saying is, dito rin, makikita natin na meron tayong connect in terms of paper trail doon sa unprogrammed allocation released in February, early in the year.
Sorry are you sure that's an excess fund? Or a diversion? Diversion ng pondo lang. Kasi look, ang tax collection natin starts first quarter. February yung SARO mo. Hindi pa
Mabilis, wala pa.
hindi pa tapos yung tax collection mo, may excess fund ka kagad.
Yun ang pinopoint out ko.
So, ang tanong ko ngayon, ano yung meron ng Pebrero para dumukot sa unprogrammed funds?
Eleksyon. Eleksyon, siguro.
December lang kalalabas ng budget mo Nag-approve ka lang ng December.
No, I'm talking of last year.
Of last
Correct,
year.
correct.
So, what
December
was
na.
in February? Kasi kung parang cheque lang to Pag nag-issue ka ng cheque, may traceability not only in terms of date, di ba?
Well, anyway, medyo the public will not be very, very familiar with SARO and all that.
Yes,
Let's just go to Saldico. So, you're banking on his testimony and any documentary evidence that he may have. Is that correct?
Ako kasi, si Saldico was not allowed to go to the Blue Ribbon Committee. Gusto niya Gusto niya lumabas doon, di ba? Sometime November, he was supposed to come out. So, ang sinasabi ko, okay, under this process, lumabas ka ulit. So that officially we can put together what you have been saying, mailagay natin ito sa ebidensya, at ma-substantiate mo.
Curious ako,
Hindi pa siya nagtatago niya ng kausap mo.
Hindi, nagtatago na.
Nagtatago na.
Nagtatago na.
The question is, so you would rather have si Saldico testify via Zoom, correct?
Correct.
But he cannot come back.
Correct.
However, the requirement, I understand from the Senate, I don't know if the House has already adopted the rules, is that he has to be he has to go to the Philippine Embassy or a consular office to give his testimony. Is that correct?
No, I think under the rules of the Senate and under the rules of the House, pwede kayong lahat under oath to give testimony. And we did that during COVID. We did that in many times.
But the Senate said that you have to go, Senator Lacson was saying, okay kami mag-under oath ka, but you have to swear under oath under a Philippine consular official. Because that's why you have to go through the Philippine Embassy or consulate, by which, if he does
No,
that,
no, that was never a requirement.
I remember that, assuming that it is, but I remember that was stated by Senator Lacson. If you do that, Saldico will now be in Philippine territory and he can be apprehended.
Ako kasi, nakita ko na naman yung past hearings ng Blue Ribbon Committee. And even kami, ako, sa
No,
public
because-
accountability.
Nasa local, nasa Pilipinas eh. Di ba?
Yeah, but it's still digital. Ang point ko, under suspended rules, you can allow a testimony. And we've done that. Di ba? Ako, mismo, I've headed a committee hearing na naka-zoom yung mga kausap natin.
Local.
Local. At yung mga
This
tao.
is abroad eh.
But I don't even know. Mamaya, congressman, kung nasaan siya.
No, let's assume that you cannot, we cannot assume that which is not.
No,
exactly.
So,
Hindi ko gets tong punto nitong si Attorney Lasierda. Abroad, local, pagka nag-testify ka, kahit na nasaan teritoryo ka pa, pagka digital yan. Yung mga ini-interview ni Risa Hontiveros noong sinasalansan itong si Pastor Kibuloy, nasa Canada, nasa Amerika, pero wala namang problema. Di ba? Wala namang problema. But dito kay Saldico may issue dahil ang issue nitong si Saldico, si Marcos Jr., ganon. Hindi ko lang maintindihan itong si Lasierda. Hindi ko alam, baka kayo, naiintindihan nyo tumama na to, pero tayo dito, hindi natin naiintindihan ang punto niya.
kasi
Sa Portugal
it's going
eh.
back and forth eh. Ang tanong ko lang is, if we want to know the truth, di ba? Hindi ko naman sinasabing bend the law. That's the entire point. But you know, pwede mong pagsaltain. But at the end of the day, ang bagsak kasi ito, kaso. So in other words, yung bang sinabi niya, will it be acceptable in court as an evidence? No, versus going through the legal process para masiguro mo na ito magiging valid pagdating sa court.
Kasi pagka ito pinayagan, it will be under oath. So, ang sinasabi ni
Yeah.
Atty. Lasierda, nasa abroad kasi siya.
Oo nga, oo.
Pero ang nire-raise ko kasi, there were many times na may mga nasa abroad and they were allowed.
Like who?
There was an investigation last year, yung meron China and Thailand. In fact, it was in the Senate. Nung kami naman noon, well ako, wala naman akong ganong particular, but naka-Zoom. And it was under oath that they were allowed to give, we conducted the committee hearings. So parang if it's under suspended rules, if you allow it, na they can do that,
Pwede.
then
Well, that's
pwede.
up to the House
Or the Senate.
to devise the rules. So let's see how it goes now.
Ayun na nga, dito na ako natatapusin ang interview na yan. Itong si Congressman Mike Defensor. Diyan sa The Spokes. Dati siyang nag-i-interview, siya ngayon ang ini-interview. So, Lloyd, maraming salamat po sa pag-support sa PH Update. Mag-ingat po kayong lahat. Mahal natin ng Pilipinas.